Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Talia with me. We've just drawn 2-2 to Tottenham Hotspur at the Emirates Stadium. Now, you was in the studio. You could feel the emotions from everyone. I know you was on the side, but what did you make of the game? Because I think there were some bad performances, but, you know, it was a draw. It wasn't a loss. I know people keep saying it feels like a loss, but what did you make of the game?
To be honest, it felt like a puzzle with the pieces that didn't actually fit.
Right.
So that's kind of how I saw the overall game. It's kind of sad because obviously we didn't have the full team that we had out against PSV, but we didn't play at all like how we played in the Champions League. So it was, you know, watching it, you could see at the end of the day to come away with a draw, we were very lucky.
Yeah.
Very, very lucky. But I was calm and I'm still optimistic. I know a lot of people are kind of saying, "Oh, it's the end of the season." Da 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 da.
Is that a bit is that a bit ridiculous, or do you see justification in that? Because to me, I say it is very early as well. Do you think that's a bit ridiculous?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculously early, like way too early. I think that it's way too early because, I'm optimistic still. And at the end of the day, like you said, it's a draw. Yeah. We didn't lose. We still came away with 1 point. I mean, obviously 3, yes, 100% would have been better, but we still had 1. So,
Talia, talk to me. You talk about you know, puzzle pieces not being in the right place. If we have our full squad back, and that inevitably could happen towards, you know, the second half of the season, do you think things will be completely different then? Do you see a different, you know, Arsenal side? It wouldn't be a 2-2 at home to Tottenham because those pieces are important that we missed today.
No, I agree. So my prediction for the game was 3-2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when they got their 2 goals, I kind of sat there and thought, I thought that was going to happen anyway. I just did. But I think it is a case of missing quite a lot of our players. I do think that. And I think they are the sort of puzzle pieces that would just fit better. I mean, obviously, we have a great squad, but they are the kind of people that they just help the puzzle. And 100% when everyone's back, or at least not everyone, more of them are back, it will be stronger. I think that was the issue, is that you could see it just wasn't a strong enough team.
So I want to talk about some performances from you. You heard off camera, I'm talking about Bukayo Saka. I think he had a good game. I think he got awarded man of the match. But some people are questioning, you know, his performance. Is there anyone for you that stood out and you thought, listen, they held their own in this North London derby?
So, for instance, like Odegaard, the other night he was fantastic. And then today, he just wasn't there as much as I was expecting, especially when he gave that shot and it was, it was weak. You know, when you see Martin Odegaard, he whacks them, you know, and they're great. And it was just like he tapped it into the goalie's arms. And those are the kind of shots where you're like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, where have you gone? Where have you gone? We're not, you know, we haven't stormed the league yet that you can play like this. Where are you? And I think that was a case of, it was just where were the players?
100%. What were you most concerned about? What is there a player that gave you a lot of concern today in their performance? Because you're right, the PSV game was completely different. I know it's different opposition, but we were at our brilliant best then. But today it just feels completely different. Is there anything you saw today and thought, that was not great at all from either a player or just a moment in the game?
I think it was more just more of a general kind of thing from the team. Like I said, it didn't seem to fit today. And I know, again, it's a case of, well, why? And there's a lot of things that weren't adding up today. And I think, you know, like I said, we were lucky to come away with what we came away with. I think a lot of the players they were there, but they weren't there. You know, they weren't there. Physically, yeah, but mentally, no.